So I am really thrilled to introduce our speaker, Kate Taylor, to you. Kate is a powerhouse fashion stylist living in Los Angeles and working with clients from all over the globe. She's also a mentor to other fashion stylists and is passionate about helping others really see their true potential and achieve their dreams. I'm a fashion stylist myself, and I had been following Kate for some time. And I found her super inspiring in both what she was doing in her business, as well as in the words that she spoke as a mentor. Back in September, I had taken a free 5-day mindset challenge that Kate ran online. And not to be dramatic, but it completely changed my life. So much that I signed up for her 5-month high-level mentorship program, which is changing my business in leaps and bounds. Anyway, you're about to hear for yourself the power of Kate's words and her messaging as she talks to us about mindset and overcoming mindset blocks and limiting beliefs. And there will be Q&A at the end. So, as you're listening to Kate, you can feel free to jot down your questions and ask them at the end. Kate, we're so thrilled and thankful to have you here speaking at our launch event for Here We Are Turkey. So thank you for this. And with this, I will pass it over to the fabulous Kate Taylor.
I feel like I'm going to have you do my marketing, Chrissy. You're like, changed my life. I'm like, yes, I love all the things. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing faces now, which for me is amazing. It's so lovely to meet you. And beautiful Tara, I have known for years and years. I just saw your face pop up and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know you're going to be here. We've been in the same circle for years and years. It's so good to see you, gorgeous.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, I love that. Yes, Chrissy is a rock star. So if you guys have not chatted with her, you should definitely side network with her because she's a total rock star, killing it in her business. But as she said, I am a fashion stylist. I also train other stylists to be successful and free in their own lives and their own businesses. And today I am not here to talk to you about fashion, although I could all day long, but we're going to talk about mindset, specifically around vision, your why, and a decision I'm going to have you guys make. To do that, I need you guys to get some sort of paper or pen or something, because this is going to be interactive. I hate going to presentations or meetings where someone just talks at me. It like makes me nauseous. So this is going to be interactive. I would love to see feedback in the chat or any kind of like clapped hands or anything like that. I vibe off of you guys. This is a co-creation. So get whatever you need. I know it's later for you. I'm on coffee. You guys should be on wine by now. So get whatever you need, whatever beverage is enjoyable for you. And we're going to dive right in. First and foremost, when it comes to anything with business and anything with drilling down your why and your vision and your goals, you really want to make sure that you're in the right state of mind. If anyone's done anything with Tony Robbins ever, he talks about getting into state first. If you haven't, I'm going to give you a really quick overview. Starting from a place of state that is high vibe, that is where you like to be, whether it's playing music or dancing around, having a glass of wine, whatever it looks like, it's very important for you to get into a state that you enjoy before you dive into this. And as Chrissy knows, normally in the Mindset Challenge, I was making everyone get up and dance and do all the things to shake out the weirdness. But because it's late, I know you guys have had a full day, I decided to spare you of that. But just know it is very productive. It is very important to get yourself into a state. So like, just shake out the weirdness wherever you are. If you've been sitting at your computer all day, like shrug your shoulders up and down, get your neck all around. Like seriously, there's stuff that just like stays stuck, especially if you're at a computer. Just like move around, stretch, whatever you got to do to get yourself ready to go and get yourself into a state. Take some deep breaths with me because it helps the body as well. We'll just do 2. Take 1 deep breath in with me. Hold it at the top and then push it all out. Let's do 1 more. Hold it at the top and blow it all out. Doesn't that feel better after a long day? Like, aren't you already like, oh, I kind of needed that. Okay, so that's something very simple you can do to just shake out any kind of tension or anything. I love dancing. I was a dancer, so I dance all around this house with music blaring. And whatever you're going to do to get yourself in state, it's important. Now, let's dive into your why. I'm sure a lot of you have heard, if you're budding business owners, seasoned business owners, you've heard a lot of people talk about, you got to know what your why is. And you have to understand what it's all about. And some of you might be like, I'm so sick of hearing that. I don't get it. It doesn't matter to me. What does that even mean? Others of you might be like, yeah, I am motivated by my why. So I want us to all get to the same like plateau here of what is my why? Your why is your vision for your life and your business. And it's not just like, this is where you got to get honest with yourself. It's not just, oh, I want to impact the world. Like, yeah, we all do. I get that. But like, why? Why do you want to impact the world? And getting down to the core of why you actually are doing what you're doing is going to be super important for us tonight. So maybe you have set intentions or thoughts in the past and you feel like you just keep missing the boat on these visions that you have, or you're like, they're not really big enough. I keep hitting them and it's like I hit them way sooner than I'm supposed to. Or not that there's a supposed to, but you know what I'm saying. So first and foremost, I want you to set an intention for yourself on what you're going to get out of this month. Okay. It's the beginning of the month. This is a great time to start. It's the end of 2020. If there were goals that you had up for this whole entire year, all of our goals, by the way, have been shifted obviously this year. So what do we want to accomplish for December? And I want you to get clear on it. I want you to set some intentions. What do I want to accomplish in December? How do I want to end this year so that I'm positioning myself for 2021 the way I want to? So I want you to write just one or two things down. What is my intention for the month of December? Maybe it's, I want to get a client. Maybe it's, I want to get my website complete. Maybe it's, I want to make X number of dollars. Maybe it's, I want to get into a morning practice. Maybe it's, I want to get deeper with my meditation. But I want you to set some really true intentions for yourself for what you want to intend for the month of December. And I want you to know that you're going to accomplish them by the end of that. And it's going to be really important for us to write these down so that you're figuring out your why. So get really clear. If you want to write more than two, that's fine, but set some intentions. And then after you set those intentions, I want you next to that to ask yourself, why? Why do I care about this? If one of yours is have a 10K month, why? If one of yours is to work with a new client, why? And I know for a lot of you, it's like to pay the bills, to make the money, but keep going. Like that can be the first answer, but why? Because you know what you do is going to change their life. It's going to change their outcome. Get into it. And that same process, once you get to the why, it's going to look a whole lot like, because I want my family to have a lovely December. I want to, Decembers in the past have been a little tough. I want to change the game this time. Like you'll feel when you've gotten to the real reason. It's not just to get a client so that everyone says, oh, yay, Chrissy got a client. It's like, really, why? And then I want you to take that same process and I want you to reflect back to what we talked about just a second ago, which is, what is your whole purpose for having your business? Okay, we're going to do the same process you just did for December. Go above it or below it, whatever. And I want you to say, the purpose for me having this business is, and write whatever. It could be to impact lives, to give freedom to women and men, to whatever it is. I want you to write that. And then below that, I want you to do the same exact thing we just did with your December goals here. Why? Why does it matter? If you're telling me, like, for example, I'll use Chrissy because she's in my program, but let's say Chrissy says, I have this business because I want to impact the lives of men and women to understand they can walk confidently. Okay, why? Maybe she says, well, because I know the other side of that. I know that by not having confidence, people feel small. They aren't able to connect with their loved ones. They aren't able to have the success they want to have. Okay, why do you care? Because myself, I saw my mother experience that. And I don't want anyone else to experience this feeling of lack or this feeling of pain. I'm not saying this is Chrissy's story. I'm making this up. So no one think that this is her mother's story. But right, like I saw that happen. I know the other side of that. And it's my passion and my heart's desire that no one else has to feel that way. And then she keeps going. And why? Why do you care? Well, it's also through working with people, it's going to give me financial freedom, and I'm going to be able to do this and this with my family. And then we're getting into the real reason here. The real reason behind your why might be because I want to create a legacy for my family. What I lived through as a child, I want to make something different for my own children. Maybe you want to set a new course for your family. Maybe you want to set a new course for yourself. Maybe you desire to, once COVID is whatever, secure, I don't even know. Once that's a thing, we can travel freely. And maybe it's your desire to travel all over the world and impact the world because you saw limits in your life growing up. But like, get to it. Why do you actually care? And here's why this matters. As an entrepreneur, for those of you that are seasoned, you know, there are highs and lows. And if you aren't clear on why you're really doing this and you aren't BSing yourself, you will withstand anything that comes your way. Okay. If you're not clear on why you're doing this, or you're BSing yourself and you're just saying, oh, I want to impact the world, but you're not really clear on why you care about impacting the world. When times get hard, you're going to bail. Or when times get hard, you're going to say, this is too tough. But if you know the real reason behind why you're doing what you're doing, and it has touched you on a heart place, when the times get tough or the times get good, it won't matter. You keep going no matter what. Nothing will take you out of the game when you know why you're doing what you're doing. Are we following? Is this making sense? So you got to get to it. And you got to truly, no one is here to judge you. No one here is here to grade your paper. You got to be honest with yourself. Why am I really doing this? And if it's so that you have financial freedom because you never experienced that as a child and you want to create a new legacy where your children do experience financial freedom, that is a beautiful why. If you want to make more money than you know what to do with, that's a beautiful why. Because guess what? Good people that make lots of money get to do good things with their money. It's not, there's a lot of misconception around money makes people evil, or we shouldn't desire lots of money, it's bad, and like all of these things. And none of that is true. The love of money and making that your only sole obsession, yes, that can get like a little bit idolatry and a little wonky, right? But if you're a great person and you make a ton of money, guess what you're going to do with a ton of money? Great things. If you're an icky person and you make lots of money, you're going to do icky things probably, but money doesn't make you something different. It expands on who you are. So if your pure why is, I want to make a ton of money so I can give it to these people that are homeless, I can give it to these women's shelters, I can do these things, then my love, run with it and make all the money you possibly can. But you got to be honest about what you're doing, what you're doing right now in your business. If you don't know why and you're not honest with yourself, you will get pulled out of the game left, right, and center. Okay. So now you've got your December goals. You've got your why on why you're doing what you're doing, why you're really doing it. And I want you to have a minute to center in here on what's up for you for December. The power of doing this right here now and why we're doing it this way is where two or more are gathered, there is much more power, much more expansion. So that's why I said at the top of this is a co-creation. So anything you're setting down right now, we are all in the vibe of being able to expedite those results. So don't shortchange yourself right now. There's, I don't know how many people in here, but a lot. There's a lot of people in here. And this is a co-creation. So get honest with yourself and know that God, universe, source, spirit, whatever you lean upon, they are solidifying this for you as well. So show up for yourself. If you haven't showed up for yourself all of 2020 because it was a bit of a crapshoot, show up for yourself now. Show up for yourself for December and write those things down. Be honest with yourself now. Now, for those of you that feel comfortable, I want to know just one intention for your month of December. Drop it in the chat so I know you've got it. And it could be expansion. It could be visibility. It could be one client. It could be connecting with my fellow networkers. But I want you to drop it into the chat so I know that you've got it. Just one of them. One retainer client, awesome. Close at least 2 investment deals before December 31st. That's the terror, I know, I love it. Visibility, create my own progressive web app. Awesome. Good. Who else? See, the power of doing this is we're all agreeing. So it's like, and so it is. So if you want to expedite these results, Drop one in the chat so we can all agree with you that it is done. So Tara is going to get 2 investment deals because we all just co-created. It is done, right? Finalize my offers, make some potential regular customers, finish my GIA education, work on improving the teamwork in the company, restart blogging. Yes, exactly, Tara. Get our rebranding effort solidified. Open my business to my international community with a proper strategy. Powerful. New website for my brand. Be more consistent on social media. Amazing. Okay. And so it is for all of you guys. 6 clients. Amazing. Get a team coaching assignment for collaborate. I love this. Okay. So now you guys are going to hold on to this. Okay. You've just written your thing or you've got it on your paper. And what I want you to know is when you tap into this and you've just now got your December goals, we also know why you're doing what you're doing. So now we've got some pure fuel to push that. You've got to know that anything that you do now is saying this is unshakable. It is this or nothing else. It is this or even better, right? This is unshakable from here on out. Now, you notice that I didn't start this whole thing by saying, how are you going to do that? I didn't say, well, let's go to the how first. How is Tara going to get 2 investment deals? Why didn't I start with the how? Well, great question. I'm glad you asked. I didn't start with the how because your brain doesn't know how in this given moment. You don't know how. You are setting an intention. If you knew the how, you would have already done it, right? So we are not starting with the how because if you start with the how and your brain doesn't know, you will instantly go into fight, flight, or freeze. That's why so many times when you say to yourself, oh, okay, I want to do this. Now how? You panic, you don't do it, you freak out, or you shut down because your brain doesn't know. It is so important to not start with the how so you don't take yourself out of the game. It is a survivalist thing of our brain, is the reptilian part of our brain that will shut down if you start with the how. So anytime you are going for a vision, a goal, anything you want in your business, it is wildly important that you do not allow yourself to start with the how. So write that in big letters, never start with the how. That is KTI rule number 1, never start with the how. You always want to start with your state, which is why we did a little shaking around, but you can go dance, you can do your thing. You get into a good vibrational state, then you get clear on what you're up to, why you're even doing it. Okay, I'm doing it so I can expand. I'm doing it so I create a legacy. I'm doing it so I create a difference in this industry. I'm doing it whatever reason. And then you get clear on, okay, that's why I'm doing this. Now, what do I want to do? And then it all just flows. Now we know Tara's going to get 2 investment deals. That's great. We know she's going to do that. Now the how can just flow because she's in such a good state. She's clear on why she's even doing this. And here's what's up for her December. The how will now flow. Had she started this call out by saying, how am I going to get 2 investment deals? She would have started to feel a tightness of her chest, a heaviness of her shoulders, a little bit hard to breathe maybe. And like, I don't freaking know. I don't know how it's going to happen. So it is so important to not start with the how. Does this make sense? So keep yourself out of the fight, flight, or freeze. And as entrepreneurs, there are so many opportunities for you to go into fight, flight, or freeze. And it is an unconscious thing that happens for you. You will not be able to control it. So you have got to create a new system, and it will be very unnatural for you if up to this point you've already started with the how. So there will be a little rewiring, and that's okay. If you catch yourself trying to go into the how, just stop and say, I don't know how right now, but the how's not my job. The how's not my business. What's my job is to get into state. What's my job is to remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. What's my job is to see what's up for me for December. And then the how gets to flow. Are we following? Is this good? We're making sense? Yes. Okay, great. Now, when you aren't clear on anything, if you're like, I know I want to do this, but I'm not clear on where that's going to go or what that's going to do, that is also another indication of the how. So anytime you feel an ick feeling, a bad feeling, a stuck feeling, an overwhelmed feeling, first and foremost, queens of their businesses are not allowed to feel that way. Not because it's wrong, but because it's a princess mentality. Think about a queen of an empire. They're not like, I don't know how I'm going to defeat them. Like, what do I do? Like, that's like a princess. They're like, okay, we're going to try this way. And if that doesn't work, we're going to come at it from this angle. And if that doesn't work, we're going to come at it from this angle. So you got to allow yourself to see, number 1, the how is not my job. And number 2, I am unavailable for anything that's going to keep me stuck, overwhelmed, stress, stuck, don't know what to do, anything that really revolves around the how if you got to it. Okay, so give yourself what we say over here at KTI, hashtag no excuses policy. No excuses. No excuses for not getting your goals. No excuses for not doing whatever you're doing, because the how isn't your job. If you've gotten yourself into state, you're clear on why you're doing it, and you know what your goals are, the how will flow. Okay, so you start from a place of whatever that state is for you. For some of you, it's not going to be my vibe of dancing around like a crazy person. For you, it might be calm and peace. It might be a beautiful meditation set. It might be sitting on your mat. It might be lighting some incense. You might be thinking, Kate talks 3,000 miles per minute. I need it slowed down about 3 ticks. So it could be something that's a little more peaceful and calm, but it is important for you to get into that state before you make any decisions or get any kind of goals. All right. Now that we have our intentions set for the month, I want to talk a little bit about the power behind it. Now, what is the power behind landing your why? Here it is, clarity. Clarity is your secret sauce on making sure that you get to your why. And with your vision and your why, you want to really understand that the most power of your vision and your why will come when you fall in love with, this is going to surprise you, your ideal client and not your service. If you have a service or a product, it is not your job to fall in love with your service or your product. It is your job to fall in love with your ideal client, your ideal investor, your ideal, you name it. That is your job, not to fall in love with your service or your product. It's the biggest mistake that I see entrepreneurs make, is that they fall in love with their service and they're like, I do this and this, and it's this many packages, and it's this many hours, and it's this many dollars. And they don't fall in love with the people they're actually meant to serve. So there's a disconnect, because when they get on the phone with one of the people that are meant to be their clients, they're not focused on that client. They are focused on their service, and they talk about their service. And guess what? We are innately a selfish people. So if you are focusing on your service, you have lost them. They want to know, what am I going to get out of this? What is there for me? What are the benefits? Why do I care? I don't care about 2 sessions, 3 hours, $60. I don't care. What is it for me? So it is important. This is just like a little side asterisk here. It is my job to fall in love with my ideal client, not my service or not my product. Now, why is that important? Because if you fall in love with your ideal client who you are meant to serve, you will be so lit up to do what you are doing, and you will be so clear on how to reach them. You will know them better than they know themselves. So their pain, you'll be able to speak to their pain and let them know you're the one that provides the pleasure. The ways that they want their lives to be easier, you will be able to do that for them, because you have really searched and seen that they have this going on or that going on, and you're there to serve them. On consult calls, you will be listening for what's going on in your life and how can I help serve you. If you fall in love with the service and not the sale comes quite easy. If you fall in love with the sale, people are going to feel it. And you'll be like the perfume people in the mall that are like, you want to try my sample? And you're like, oh God, go away. You want to fall in love with the person. Okay. Fall in love with them. They will feel it. They will feel your love, and the sale will just be an outcome. All right. Now we have to know what our outcome will be. Otherwise your brain and your subconscious are not going to have a place to focus our goals to achieve. So we've got our goals. You wrote down your goals. Now your mind is going to go to the place that you are focused on always. Okay. So whatever you focus on, you're going to have it. So when you wrote those goals down, if any part of you immediately said, I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know where that's going to come from. That seems like a lot. I'm not even sure. If that's where your focus goes, it will expand. Whatever you focus on will expand. So it is important that where you put your attention and where you put your fixation is something that is getting you closer to your goal, getting you closer to your vision, getting you closer to your why. And here's the thing, because either way, what you are focused on, positive or negative, your body will go get it. Your mind will make sure that it is true, because being wrong and failing to your subconscious mind is next to death. It's another, like, this is worse than death for us to be wrong or for us to not get what we have intended. So you have got to be very clear and very intentional about what you are allowing yourself to focus on. If up to this point you've been focused on where are the dollars, where are the clients, where are they, then that is what you are expanding. Where are they? Where are they? That's getting bigger and bigger, that you don't know where they are. So you have got to make sure that your fixation, your point of attention is a positive one that is getting you closer to your goals, closer to your outcome. Because your mind and your body connection cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is not real when you vividly imagine something. So if you vividly imagine catastrophe, if you vividly imagine these clients not coming in, if you vividly imagine your bank account going to zero, your mind and your body connection can't tell the difference between that's real or not real, and it will expand on that. So this is why it is so important that we got our why first, why you're doing what you're doing. Because anytime, like I said, you feel like you're being pulled out of the game, you go back to your why. It is your job to go back to your why and say, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know the how is not my responsibility. I am taking the inspired action, and I'm just going to visualize all of these clients getting all of these, outcomes that I really want for them. Go back to that, expand on that, watch the money flowing into your bank account, expand on that so that you are not focusing on things that are taking you out of the game. Now, your vision for your company and your goals are the things that you are believing in. Here's the other thing I want you to shift into. It is actually the things that you are achieving. If you were able to write it down up there, the why for what you're doing, your goals for December, if those came to your brain, they didn't come to my brain, they came to your brain. So that means it's already been done. It is now your responsibility to take action on it and make sure that you run your own no excuses policy. This is my vision and my goal for my company. These are my vision and my goals for December. It is this or even better. Okay, that is where your attention goes, because you know why you want to do it. You know your big why. We got down to that. And now that's the real reason. And you are connected to that. Anytime you feel off kilter, anytime you feel pulled away, you just got to pull yourself back up and say, no, I know why I'm doing this. Even when it doesn't look exactly like I think it should, I know this is another one. This one's a Gina DeVee that Tara will remember. Everything is happening for you, not to you. This world is co-creating. The universe, source, spirit, God, all the things, they are working for you. So when things happen, it is your responsibility to remember, this is happening for me, not to me. I am not a victim of this circumstance. It is happening for me, and it is my responsibility to find the nuggets in it. Okay? So that's why you have to know your reason why. You got to be honest about your reason why. And if you want to make gobs and gobs of money, that's fantastic, because great people making gobs and gobs of money shows other great people that they can do it too. Women making gobs and gobs of money right now is great because we get to show other women you get to do it too. Like, how freeing is that? So be honest with yourself. And if it's not a money thing, if it's like an expansion thing, a legacy thing, be honest with yourself and allow yourself to feel into that. And here's why I keep focusing on that. When it is strong enough, you will do anything to get there. Nothing, a bull wouldn't be able to pull you away. You will have actual courage to go get it. And let's talk about courage. Courage is something that I want you to write I want everyone to write it down. Courage is my responsibility. Courage isn't not having fear or uncertainty. That's not what courage is. It's not like all of a sudden I don't feel fear. All of a sudden I don't feel uncertainty. No. Courage is having those feelings from time to time, but doing it anyway, because you are so committed to and moved by your why that you can't not achieve it. I'll say that again for the people in the back. Courage is not having fear. Courage is not having uncertainty. Courage is having those feelings from time to time, but doing it anyway, because you are so committed and moved by your why that you can't not achieve it. So it is your responsibility to give yourself this dose of courage and say, I'm committed to my why. That times might not always feel great. They might feel fantastic. Either way, it doesn't matter, because I can't not achieve it. If someone came to me right now and said, Kate, you can no longer teach Stylist, I would punch them in the jaw, because I can't not. It is my responsibility to share that love and light in this world. So you can't not. Now, you're being brought to a very special and powerful place by way of just being here and listening to this, whether it's on the replay or live. Today, you get to make a decision. I talked about this at the top of the hour, that you are going to make a decision. And this decision is going to be your line in the sand. Okay? You're going to have this no matter what, because it is a decision. So what is a decision not? A decision is not, it would be nice if that happened. It'd be cool if that came to be. I mean, that would feel fun. It'd feel exciting. That's an option. That's not a decision. You are living in the world of options by saying, it would be nice if that happened. It'd be cool if I got that client in December. It'd be fun if I got to make that money in December. You're living in the option by saying that. You have to make a decision on all parts of your business, by the way, but today we're talking about the power decision for December. So what is your decision? And if you do not decide, you live in the preferences, which will likely keep you broke and sad, by the way. So I don't suggest staying there. I definitely suggest staying in the place of decision. So what is your decision? I want you to write it down right now. I am deciding, my decision is whatever I am deciding, or my decision is, and then write it. Is it that your December goals are happening no matter what? Is it that you are no longer going back to a place of where you lived in the preferences and you let things pass you by? Is it that you are going to make a decision to live in courage from now on when things get tough or good or whatever? It doesn't matter. You still have courage. What is your decision that you're going to make today? And make it be powerful. Make it be something that's going to motivate you, not just for December, but for like all of 2021. What is your decision? And when you do make the decision, when it feels so good, when that decision feels so powerful, you are going to be fueled to take massive action to achieve it. That massive action will get you to that place. It will build character, it will build skill, and most importantly, it will build behavior. The behavior of very successful entrepreneurs are things like they get up every morning and meditate usually, or have some sort of mindset practice. They make sure they're not fueling themselves with news all day long. They stay tuned in, but they're not letting themselves be fed into their brain by things that are going to take them out of the game. So they're reading or listening to something almost every day. Some of the top entrepreneurs in the world, Tony Robbins, all kinds of different people like that, they read multiple books in a week. So what are you fueling yourself with? What kind of a decision are you going to make today that is going to fuel you to be the business owner that you know you are called to be? Is it that you are going to wake up and set your tone right every single day for the month of December? Is it that you are no longer playing small? Is it that you are going to make a legacy? You are starting now to create a legacy for your life and your children? Is it that you're no longer going to live in the preferences and keep making just below what you actually need to make? Is it that you're going to have courage to withstand anything that comes your way, good or bad? It doesn't matter, because you know you have been called. What is your decision? That decision will fuel you into massive action. And the behaviors will be secondary. It will be a little bit wonky at first. It's always bumpy before it's smooth when you change behaviors, but it will become so natural for you that your thoughts will become your beliefs, will become your character. So get into it. What are you going to let your behaviors be there? And a little check-in for you for daily awareness, just for when we're not here together, to see if you are moving towards your vision, your goal, your why, all of those things, and not away from it. Your little check-in is notice what you are getting. What are the outcomes that you are seeing in your life and in your business? What are you getting? If the things you are getting are not pulling you one step closer to your vision, your goal, it just means that you're a little bit out of alignment. It doesn't mean you're bad or wrong. It just means there's a little check back in. Okay, what I'm getting out of this is not great. Where can I adjust? What behavior can I adjust? What thing can I do? Okay, maybe less news, or maybe more books, or maybe reaching out to some of my networking buddies here and having a mastermind partner. Like, what can you do? So any kind of, if you're ever like, hey, I don't know if I'm going towards my vision or goals, notice what you're getting, and also notice how you feel. If you feel uncomfortable, bad, not good, you got to lean on that. That is your intuition saying, this ain't it, baby girl. We got to switch things up. So lean on your own intuition and see, how am I feeling? What am I getting out of this? What are the outcomes I am seeing? And it is your responsibility to do that check-in. Now you have to check in and see if everything you're doing is moving you closer to your goals or further away. And if you are getting closer, if you notice, yeah, even if it's by one, if I said I wanted 10K and I just made $300, it's still moving towards the 10K. If you are moving closer to it, then you have to celebrate it. It is your responsibility to celebrate every small win. Even if it's like, I got up this morning and had my morning practice, celebrate that. in some sort of way. I'm not saying pop champagne every time you do a morning practice, but I am saying give yourself some kudos. Kate, that's great. You did that today. We want more of that. That's exciting, because whatever you celebrate, again, that's our focus. And we talked earlier, whatever you focus on expands. So if you focus on celebrating those wins, guess what happens? They multiply. They multiply, they get bigger, they flow to you easier and quicker, because you have told your subconscious brain, the universe, source, God, all the things, I want more of that. That's what I'm focused on. And then it's like, okay, we got it. You're celebrating that. You're focused on that. More of that. Got it. So it is important for you to celebrate. Don't wait till you hit the 10K and now I get to celebrate. Celebrate every small win. If you are moving closer to the goal, celebrate it. Okay? Whatever, and here's why, whatever we reward and or praise, our nervous system says, okay, we want to do more of that. It is like an actual chemical reaction here. So it is important that you praise and pay attention to and reward the things that you want more of. All right. And if you aren't getting closer, if you're like, well, Kate, I'm not getting closer, I'm feeling wonky, I'm feeling off or whatever, that's fine. Do what I talked about earlier with Queens, change your approach. So if the approach you are working on is not working, it's not getting you the results you want, change your approach. I do not mean, well, I tried to market this for 3 days and no one bit, so I'm going to flip up and try again. For the love of God, please market something for more than 3 days. It takes time. Like, it takes time. But if you notice you've been doing something for some time and you're not getting the results that you want or need, change your approach. Princess Mode would say, I don't know, someone do it for me. It's not working. I've tried everything. No, you haven't. Like, no, you haven't. If I haven't tried everything, you haven't tried everything. So change your approach. Find a new way to come at it, a new way to approach it, a new way to get to those goals. And it might just be a minor adjustment. It might be a 1 millimeter adjustment, or it might be a foot-long adjustment. Who knows? But keep going until you don't just hit your goal, you surpass it. Make that commitment and then that decision to yourself. I'm going to keep going until I surpass my goal. I'm not even going to just hit it. I'm going to surpass it. Now, if you want daily movement in the forward direction for yourself and your business and your brand, your mindset work that we're talking about, all of these pieces, it truly, really needs to be done every single day. It doesn't mean it has to be the same kind of mindset work every single day. If you want to read one day, listen to something the next, that's fine. But there needs to be something that you are setting your day out the right way. If you're not a morning person, you want to do it in the afternoon, that's okay. It's just, you're going to have a better tone if you can do it first thing in the morning. And I've told some of my students, it might be you've set a yoga mat next to your bed. So you get yourself out of bed and you plop down on that yoga mat. Just get yourself out of the bed, lay back down, that's fine, but you've at least changed positions. Don't wake up and say, oh, I'm going to meditate. I'm just going to lay here and meditate. And then like 30 minutes later, you're like, I fell asleep. Get yourself out of bed and into something, even if it's another lying down position. Your mindset has to be done every day though. And the best way that you're going to get going that way is to have some sort of structure at first if it's not natural for you. And if you like structure, I usually tell people have a 3-tiered effect. One is have something you are listening to or reading that is in the world of personal development, business, something, whatever is getting you closer to your goal. If you're an Audible person, you can listen to the book or a podcast or something. Have something that is feeding you. The second is have something that you are getting out and writing. So some sort of journaling, whether you want to do a thankfulness or you want to set your intentions, but some way that you are writing desires, dreams, visions, whatever. And the third is a time of quiet where you can really tune in and listen to that inspired action. So this is your time of meditation, your time of prayer, whatever, but it's not you talking. If it's prayer for you, it's not you talking, it's you listening. True listening. That's where those drop-ins come. That's where you get the inspired action. And the more you do that every single day, the stronger your intuition gets, the stronger that connection gets. And it's like you can change things on a dime and everything you touch turns to gold because you are so aligned with all of that. That's if you need some sort of a structure. That's how I suggest that you do it. Now, you want to feel the decision that you wrote, you want to feel it in your bones. This is the last thing I'm going to do, and then we'll go into some Q&A here. You want to feel that decision in your bones. So you want to get into it and move into it like it's yours now. Because if you wait for that decision, whatever the decision was, if you wait for that decision or your goals to come, they're never going to come. So it is now your responsibility for the rest of this week and all of December to feel that in your bones. You become that woman that has already done it and achieved it. I don't mean start spending money like you have it when you don't. I do mean carry yourself like the woman who has already gotten that. Allow yourself to be her now. How would she act now? The Tara that's already gotten the 2 investment deals, how does she carry herself around? Does she keep her head held high? What is she telling herself in her head? What's the self-talk that she's doing? What is her daily practice? It is your responsibility, all of you, to be her now. What are the actions she would take? Would she be cooking herself good meals? Would she be doing some yoga? Would she be talking really lovely to herself and not giving herself negative self-talk? Would she be dancing? What is it? You've got to be her now. Because when you wait to be her until you have the thing, you keep it away. You have to be the container that already fits it. It's like saying, I really want to listen to country music, but I'm on oldies. You got to change the station. You can't hear country through the oldie station, right? You got to change the station. So you have to change the station. You got to be her now. You got to be the container that fits this person you were saying you are becoming. Be her now in action, in word, in thought, in all of the things. Be her now. Allow that decision to be in your bones. You are embodying her now. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. So that's what I wanted to touch on today for you guys. Hopefully you love that and it was groundbreaking. Let's see if I missed any questions over here. I'm not sure. Thanks for the heart, Lisa. I'm not sure how you guys do Q&A, but how we usually do it is if you have a question for me, you can do the raised hand feature, and I'm not a host, so I won't see the raised hand. So someone will have to call in people in order. But if you don't see the raised hand feature, you'll click on participants. And then after you click on participants, you should see a raised hand button to the right under the names. So if you have a question, please definitely click the raised hand feature, and whoever is host or co-host or moderator can tell me who's first. It usually does it right in order. So the first person at the top will be the first person with a question.
Okay, so I will be moderating the Q&A, and we have a raised hand already. So we'll start with Tara. Tara, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Kate. Okay, so my question is, what do I do while I'm waiting? So these investment deals, right now the offer is with the investor. So we're waiting for them to make a decision. So I feel like we've done all the work. You know, we've presented the case, we've given them the terms, they know the opportunity. So the deal is with them. And so, so what do I do while I'm waiting? Because I don't feel like I can push them. You know, they need to take their time to think. So this is what's happening with me right now. Why are they taking so long? What's wrong? You know, this is where my mind is going. Why haven't they made a decision? Oh, they're going to back out. It's not going to happen. And so this is what's happening. So I don't feel like there's anything active I can be doing, but the mindset that I need to be while I'm waiting. This is my question.
This is a really good question. And this goes for any of you, by the way. You can translate this to waiting for a client to sign up for a consult, or you waiting, you know, everyone can be in some sort of a waiting game. And this is a great question. Your responsibility, Tara, when you're in the waiting is to act as though it has already happened. So you are that container. So it doesn't mean you start spending the money that isn't there from the investment deal. It does mean that you carry yourself as though it's already happened. And especially for you, Tara, it would be really beneficial in your daily practice to start visualize it happening. So I want you to like see them signing it. I want you to see the email popping into your inbox. I want you to see all of that stuff happening so that you are then the container. And it's not that it's like some sort of like a name it, claim it thing, but it is that you are becoming the container that has already happened for. Okay, so I want you to start visualizing whatever it would be that would be, you know, the go ahead from them, whether they call you or email you or whatever would happen. I want you to see that happening. And I want you to not, when you catch yourself saying, why haven't they signed it? Why haven't we heard from them? I want you to stop yourself on that train. And a lot of times, this is for everyone. If you have a thought process that just feels like it has taken you away, like it's like, oh, I'm just in catastrophe mode here. it's going to be very difficult for you to stop a train in motion, right? You can't stand in front of a train and say, stop, stop. Like it's going to take a minute for that train to slow down. So if you cannot stop that train of, why haven't they signed it? Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of all the, and you're freaking out, then it's your responsibility to flip over to something different that is completely nothing to do with that. Allow yourself to think about and expand upon something that makes you happy. It could be my niece and nephew. I might just start thinking about them for a minute and think, oh my God, I love spending time with them. Because while you're over here thinking about something that has nothing to do with that, but it's something that makes you happy, that train is going to slow down. It's going to lose momentum. Okay. So you can't stop the train and when it's heavy going, but you can allow yourself to think about something else that makes you feel lovely and high vibey and like excited. And maybe you start going to Pinterest and start penning dream vacations, whatever it is. And then once you feel better and you're like, ooh, this is exciting, then you can go back to this and say, I know this is all working for me. I know that this is an amazing opportunity. I'm so excited for when they sign it. And that feels way better than trying to say, oh, why am I thinking this? And now I'm thinking it more. You can't. That's it. Okay. So flip over here, think about something lovely, allow it to slow, and then come back with some positive thought.
Okay, good.
And allow yourself to just play into, oh my God, I can't wait for this to happen. And think about, what am I going to do when it happens? I'm going to celebrate. How am I going to celebrate? I'm going to pop some champagne. I'm going to buy a Chanel bag, whatever. Like, obviously I go to fashion, but what are you going to do when it happens? And just like play into that, right?
Okay, good.
Helpful?
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, just what I need. Thanks, Kate.
So welcome. Other questions? Let's see if I might have missed some in the chat here, Chrissy. Let me see. Yes. So it's similar to when you were sending a cover letter to a company when looking for a job. Focus on them and not yourself. Exactly. And that's the key in a consult as well. When you send a cover letter, it's not like, here's how great I am. It's like, here's how I can serve your company. Here's how I can meet the need you guys are having. Here's how I can expand your sales. Here's how I can make you seen in the marketplace. Like, those are the things you focus on so that they expand, right? For the company, it's the same thing with falling in love with your ideal client and not the service. It's the same thing on the consult call. I always say on consult calls, focus on them. The 3 Ps, the person, pain, and pleasure. Focus on who are they and what is their pain. Get to that. What is their pain? Let me listen for what their pain is, what's keeping them uncomfy, and then how can I be the one that provides the pleasure? I'm going to use the words back that they said about their pain. I'm going to say, okay, it sounds like you're feeling this and this and this, and you want to feel this way. And they'll say, yes, you nailed it. And like, yeah, no, duh, it was your words. But anyway, yes, I nailed it. And now the pleasure is I'm going to work with you in this container and we're going to get the results you need. Now my whole focus has been on them, not, I have this one package that has 3 sessions and right. Okay.
Yes, another question just came in at the end. Do you see it from Monisha?
So much gratifying. Yes. What are some ways in which we can change our language, rephrase things, and what we say about ourselves that can help us overcome some of our blocks? Oh, this is such a great question. Okay, so what is your responsibility to do? Because when things come up and you have this negative self-talk, it is very difficult to then switch to positive self-talk. Right? The same way that a train going in full force, it's very difficult to slow that train down. So before you are in that place, here's another homework lesson for all of you. Get yourself into a high vibe place, get yourself into state, music, whatever you got to do to get yourself feeling good. And then I want you to write 10 I am statements about who you are as a woman and a business owner and a leader. Write 10 I am statements from a real high vibey place. I'm a powerful woman. I'm a powerful CEO. I am a strong woman. I change lives. I am whatever. I want 10 I am statements on who you are as a woman, a business owner, a powerful leader, all of those things. Okay. And you just vibe out on it. And you've got them on your phone or on your iPad or on a note somewhere. You've got them written down. So Hugo, when those negative things come up, instead of just trying to immediately say, oh, now I got to think of something good, you have a list and you can start reading those out loud to yourself. And at first it's going to feel silly or it's going to feel not true. It's going to be like, I don't want to say this, but you keep reading it. And then all of a sudden it's going to shift. All of a sudden you're going to feel things shifting. If you don't, you can do what I just said to Tara. think about something completely different than yourself, something that makes you feel good and lovely, and then go back to those I am statements and start saying them to yourself. Because we will take ourselves out of the game and make ourselves wrong or make ourselves the reason things aren't happening. It is our own natural inclination, especially as women, and it's just not true. But if you can write the power behind who you are as a woman, as a human, now when you feel high vibey, they will be there if that happens again. And if it feels too strong that what you're saying to yourself, those I am statements aren't going to cut it, it's your responsibility to hop trains for a minute. Think about your daughter. Think about that trip you took. Like my happy place is either my niece or the trip I took to the south of France with my best friend. I picture us in Provence, sipping rosé, chatting it up. I will go there in a hot second anytime I'm feeling any sort of way. And then I'm like, okay, we're good. And then I can go back. So maybe you do that and you go back to the I am statements. Does that help?
Yeah, and I just want to jump in and say, like, this whole I am statement exercise, you know, we did it during the challenge that we did back in September. And for me, it was so liberating to write those things down and to get these thoughts out of my head onto paper and then to read them out loud and to, now I'm actually living these I am statements. And it's so empowering. So I encourage everybody to do this homework because it really works.
You really out because you're focused on it, and then you just become that person. And if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm already this person, then you get to grow into new ones, write new ones. I'm a millionaire. I am whatever you want to do, you get to write it.
Yeah. Okay, so Dafa is asking, do we have to focus on just one why, or can we have 2 or 3 whys?
Oh no, you can have 2 or 3. It doesn't have to just be one. Whatever motivates you, love, whatever feels so juicy and good and will, as long as the 3 are just as powerful as each other, meaning you can lean on any of them, that if you feel like something's trying to take you out the game, you go back to it and you're like, nope, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm up to. This is what it's all about. So you can definitely have more.
Okay, Lisa has a question. Lisa.
Yes. Hi, thank you so much. That's been really helpful. It's not really a question because you kind of answered everything anyway. I just wanted to say, like, the purpose and the why, I think that's such a good thing. I'd never even thought of that. You know, why am I doing this? You know, what do I want to get out of it? And I think that really is going to help move forward and stuff. I was just going to say, like, so I guess what you're saying is, you said about, selling the product, selling to the customer and the client as opposed to selling the product. So you're saying that if we're confident about, what it is that we want and who we're selling to, they will pick up on that. And, if how do I say, like, we need to feel like we're already that successful person, and we're already selling, like I sell handmade products, so I need to talk to the customer like, that I've been doing this for as long as I've been doing it and I'm really enjoying it, and you're going to get so much satisfaction out of it. And
I would alter that a little bit, Lisa. So less about I've been doing this for so long and you're really going to love it. When you focus on falling in love with the client and not the sale, if you have a product, it looks a whole lot like understanding what is their pain and how is your product the solution. So it looks like I'm going to fall in love with this client because I want to serve them. And I know that my product serves them. I know my product will make a difference for them. So let me get what is their pain and how can my product be the pleasure? So then you get into, okay, you might have been experiencing X, Y, Z, and I totally get that. You probably feel this way and you probably feel that way. And what's happening by you doing that? Like, get into the real pain there. And then you get to say, I totally get that. And here's what else is possible for you. You could feel X, Y, Z way. You could experience this, this, and this. And I happen to have this product that can get you there, that can help you feel that way. But that way you're more focused. You're less on like, I've got this great product. And you're more like, I get that you're feeling this way. I get that that's what's going on for you. I want you to feel this way. And I know this can help you get there.
So we're selling the feelings that go along with the product and what they need. Okay.
Exactly. When you get into, think about you as the consumer. And I always say this, like when people are saying, I want to send an email to this person, or I want to sell this, sell it to yourself first that way and see if you would buy it. If you were not you and you came at, and someone came at you and said, buy my product, you'd probably be like, no, thank you. But if they were like, oh my gosh, Lisa, have you been feeling blah, 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 and that must suck, and I hate that you're feeling that way, or maybe you've been experiencing this and this, I want you to experience this. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot easier, blah, 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 blah. Here, this product does that. If you would like to, you know, try it out or chat with me about it, I'm totally here for you. This is the whole reason why I'm doing it. And the other thing that you touched on, your why, that is part of falling in love with the client as well. When you get into why you're doing what you're doing, then you're also clear on, this is going to impact these people. My product is going to impact these people. And you get yourself then into a company mindset instead of this like side hustle, side business. I call them jobbies, jobs that are hobbies that don't really pay you like a job. So you get yourself out of that and more into company mindset. I've got this product and I'm going to really focus on how this product is the game changer for my clients, because they've been experiencing this. They want to experience this. My product is the game changer to help with that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're so welcome.
Okay, great. Kate, how are you doing on time? We have one more question in the comments, if you have time for it. I know we're kind of up on the hour that we had reserved you for. So
let's do one more question, and then I've got to hop. My team's waiting for me, so I gotta hop. Let's do one more.
Your time is super valuable and want to honor that. So, okay, thank you. The last question is, what books are you currently reading and what podcasts are you listening to?
Oh my gosh, this is a loaded question. I've always got 17 million books. The podcast I'm currently listening to actually is my client and friend, Catherine Zenkina. Some of you might know her. Manifestation Babe is her podcast. She's been doing some real good stuff on, she's a manifestation coach, but she has been doing a lot of mindset work on her podcast in the past couple months. And she's been bringing in these experts that have been awesome. So I've been listening to her podcast a lot. The books that I'm currently reading, again, I have 13 million books, but the one that I'm really loving right now, I'm reading it for a second time, is Happy Pocket Full of Money. What we didn't talk about in the beginning is I became a fashion stylist by way of almost going to medical school. So I was on track to be a physician and had done master's degree, post-grad work, the whole thing, had Harvard recommendation letters, and I just wouldn't send them in and recognized I don't want to go to med school. So I started my fashion styling business. But because of that, I still have a very strong science brain, which is why you heard me talking about the nervous system and the subconscious brain. Like I nerd out on science stuff. And Happy Pocket Full of Money gets into the science behind money and like what it's doing in our brain and how to manifest money and how like the different chemical reactions and the neurons. So if you have any kind of inclination on wanting to like get to what's really going on with manifesting money and all that kind of stuff, it's a great book, Happy Pocket Full of Money. Other books that I recommend, if you're looking for like a kick in the pants on wanting to make good money in December and really recognizing it, I love Jensen Cho's book, You're a Badass at Making Money. I think it's such a good book. My mentor and Tara's previous mentor, Gina DeVee, just released her book this year, The Audacity to Be Queen. That one is a really good one. But here's the other thing too, that I always have playing that I'm like, what was the other one? If you haven't read it or you haven't read it in a long time or listened to it, Think and Grow Rich is the absolute foundational book for any entrepreneur. It was written right after the Great Depression, so it's quite old, but it has foundational principles that, I mean, again, Oprah swears by it, Tony Robbins swears by it, like any entrepreneur who is anything worth their weight in salt has read that book and follows the principles. If you're a listener, the whole book is for free on YouTube. You can just stream it on YouTube for free. Think and Grow Rich.
Sorry, could you please repeat the book name? What is the book name, the last one?
Oh gosh, what did I just say? Was it Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is the book. It's a very old. Yeah, you're welcome. And if you do, I found that book I enjoyed listening to more than reading it because it's pretty heavy and old. So I enjoyed listening to it, but if you are a reader and you like to highlight and do all the things, you can definitely get it on Amazon. Yep, exactly. By Napoleon Hill. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Wow. This has been so great, Kate. We can't thank you seriously, thank you a million times over for being here, for giving us your time today, for sharing all of your knowledge. And I mean, I've heard parts of this messaging before, yet like I'm still moved this time hearing it again. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. And if we could ask a favor before you go, if we could kind of get a group shot, we want to try to, you know, get everyone in the screen smiling, looking forward, happy faces. It would just be great to have that. So
Thank you for all the love over there in the chat. I see you all. Tara, it was so good to see you. Thank you guys.
You too, Kate.
it's nice for you to have a familiar face right in there. Okay, great. I got it. Perfect. And listen, Kate, how can you tell everyone how to follow you if they're not already following you?
Yeah, good call. So I am Kate Taylor Stylist on all the things. So the best way to follow me is on Instagram. That's where we have all the newest up-to-date info at Kate Taylor Stylist. It is also my website. It's all the things, Kate Taylor Stylist. So it's katetaylorstylist.com. Kate Taylor Stylist on Instagram, make it quite easy. So definitely go follow me over on Instagram. We have lots of inspo over there and all the most up-to-date things. That'd be the best way.
Great. Thank you again for being here for our launch event. It's been so special having you here, Kate.
You're welcome. I'm going to run, you guys, because my team is waiting for me, but thank you so much for having me. I hope it was wonderful. I can't wait to connect with you guys.
Kate. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.